Dunmire Hollow was the kind of place you'd miss if you blinked. One road in, one road out. Population just under 700. Give or take a newborn or two. But on the morning of August 4th, every soul in Dunmire woke up feeling, well, wrong. Not tired. Not groggy. Wrong. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tales of the Beard. This one, well, it's going to be a doozy. So hopefully you will have a good time. And you'll see as the episode goes why that joke is funny. But either way, without further ado, let's do this. Because in Dunmire clocks, they were blinking 12. Phones read August 5th, and the town's local paper, still warm in mailboxes, bore a date that hadn't happened yet. The world had moved on by one day, but no one in Dunmire remembered living it. It wasn't just a power outage. That's what folks thought at first. Until they realized the post office had no delivery record for the day prior. Satellite imagery showed only static when you zoomed in on Dunmire between 2:13 a.m. and sunrise the next day. GPS? Dead zone. The nearby flight path? Diverted. And then there was the dreams. Everyone, and I mean everyone, dreamed of the same thing. Standing in a field of metal flowers under a green sky while a soft static hiss played from nowhere and everywhere, all at once. One man, Hank Delaney, claimed he woke up during the missing day just for a second. He said he was floating above the town like a ghost, watching people move in slow motion, shadows twitching behind them like something else was piloting their bodies. He screamed and woke up again, in bed, soaked in sweat. The time? 2:13 a.m. Exactly where it all began. Then came the physical oddities. Crops in the eastern fields had grown nearly an inch overnight. A woman's broken wrist, well, it mysteriously healed. And a dog that had only been pregnant for 2 weeks gave birth to a full litter of healthy pups. And perhaps, strangest of all, a maple tree in the town square had been uprooted, turned completely upside down, and planted back into the soil. Roots exposed to the sky, leaves buried in the dirt. And the town would have chalked it all up to coincidence or some weird collective psychosis until, well, they found the wires in the forest behind the elementary school. A group of kids on bikes stumbled upon a metal panel sticking out of the ground. Beneath it, a maze of tangled wires that were softly humming. They followed it for a half a mile before the cables disappeared beneath the surface again. Along the metal, etched in rust and soot, was a name. Dr. Morrow Keene. Now, here's where things get a little bit darker, because Morrow Keene was a physicist who vanished in 1987 after publishing a controversial theory about synthetic time folds. Said that reality could be bent like film. Cut, rearranged, rewound. He disappeared shortly after announcing he had proof. No one ever saw him again. Until a cassette was found under the uprooted tree in Dunmire. Taped to it was a label that read Keene Project Run 004. The audio, static, numbers, and a child's voice counting backward. At the very end, a whisper. See you again. Soon. Within hours of the cassette being turned in, a cleanup team arrived. Black trucks, strange uniforms, no official badges. They set up camp in the square. They decided that they had to block off the forest, and by nightfall, the upside-down tree was ash. The next day, a town meeting was held. The mayor insisted, well, there had been a weather anomaly. They said that the government was helping us recover. No one asked questions. Not out loud, anyway. Then came the rebuild. The town hall, which didn't even have a scratch, was suddenly demolished and reconstructed. The new one, lined with lead. Cell service hasn't worked there the same since. Radios, they cut out around certain corners of the building, and there's a frequency, 92.3 FM. It plays nothing but white noise. Except, you guessed it, at exactly 2:13 a.m. plays a distorted nursery rhyme. No one knows where it broadcasts from. In the town, they won't talk about it. And every now and then, someone from outside Dunmire tries to ask questions. A blogger, a researcher, a late-night podcast host. They usually stop asking once they visit, or disappear. And while the rest of the world chalks it up to rumor, the people of Dunmire lock their doors at 2:12 a.m. They don't sleep, they don't blink, they just listen. Because one day, they're sure they'll wake up again. A day late. What happened to Dunmire Hollow? Was it an experiment in time manipulation? A rift in reality? Or was it something darker? Something not from here, testing our world like rats in a maze? Whatever it was, it's not over. Somewhere out there, Dr. Keene is still whispering through the wires. And you, well, you might want to check your calendar in the morning, assuming you maybe still hang one on the wall. And if not, well, that's on you. But you've been listening to Tales of the Beard. Stay curious and stay on time. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.